In this video, we're going to talk about 17 different Airbnb revenue streams, and we're going to rate them from S tier to F tier based on how much potential they have and how much effort they require. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which ones are right for you, and if at any point you agree or disagree with me, let me know in the comments. My name's Dave, and I've been running short-term rentals for over 15 years now, which means I've spent a lot of time and money experimenting with these different ways to earn from Airbnb. Now let's start with Airbnb Arbitrage or Rent to SA, which I'm going to send straight to the C tier. The pros of Airbnb Arbitrage is that you don't need to buy the property, someone else buys it and gives it to you. It's very easy access to get, or so you've been told. In reality, Airbnb Arbitrage is one of the hardest ways to acquire properties for your portfolio. Property owners can be really reluctant to hand over the keys to their property to someone who's going to put it on Airbnb and make potentially tons more money from it than they are. Add to that and you've got that guaranteed rent no matter what. So when times are good, you gotta pay. When times are tough, you still gotta pay. Any maintenance or improvements that you make to that property is effectively money that you're throwing away, not down the drain, but it's towards someone else's property. Because when the deal's over, you gotta hand that back and you can't go and take all your paint off the walls again.
Yeah. Watch me.
Next up, we're talking about co-hosting or the management model of acquiring properties. This is different from arbitrage because instead of paying a guaranteed rent to the owner, you work in a partnership and you still do all the work, but you take a commission of the booking income. Now that can sometimes be hard to get your head around, but for the property owner, that seems like an unbelievable deal because no longer are they giving their keys, their property away to someone else to make tons of money. That person is coming on board to make them tons of money. But in reality, the deal is very evenly split because there's no fixed liability of rent like in arbitrage. You win and lose together. So in those quiet months, no one makes any money. But in those busy months, you, because you're earning a commission of the income, earn very well, just the same as the owner. Unlike rent to rent, there's no upfront fees, so you're not going to have to spend money to get the place kitted out with furniture. This is all the property owner's responsibility. Remember, they're the one who's going to make most of the money from this. This is an exceptionally easy and quick way to grow a portfolio, and it's how I've grown my portfolio to over 75 properties here in Belfast, and that's why it goes straight in at A tier. And if you want more detail on how to actually start the process of managing other people's properties, click the link below, get my Airbnb blueprint. There is a full bonus guide on how to set up and run other people's properties. Now, we've done these big broad brushstroke ones. Now we're getting into the more granular detail, and next up we're talking about late checkouts. The way you make money from a late checkout is you have a checkout time, which could be whenever, could be 10 a.m, 11 a.m, 12 p.m. and if someone wants to stay a little later than that because their flight's not until later, or I don't know why else, they're having a hangover and they don't want to leave their bed, you can charge for that. The pros of this are you don't actually have to really do anything except maybe reschedule your cleaners, and if you've only got one or two properties and you're potentially doing the clean yourself, this is very, very manageable because you just go do something else for an hour or two. It's also quite a good way to get extra revenue from a booking that's already in-house. If you set that checkout time to 10 a.m, there's a lot of people are going to be wanting a 12 p.m. checkout. And if you charge 10 quid, $10 an hour, that could be an extra 20 quid commission free going to you from every booking. The problems are 10 a.m. is quite early. Most hotels offer a 12 p.m. checkout. So if you're charging 10 or even trying to get a bit greedy and cheeky and charge 9, don't ever do that. You could be risking some negative reviews. Add to that the actual logistics of it all, because even if you do have a checkout time at 12 and someone asks to extend until 3, if you have guests arriving that day and they want to check in at your normal check-in time, which could be 3 or 4, you run the risk of giving yourself a huge headache for a few quid. Is it really worth it? But I'm putting it straight in tier A because this can all be managed. If someone says, look, your checkout time's 10, I want to stay until 6 in the evening, you can say, hold on there. You can stay until 12, it'll be 20 quid. After that, you gotta go because we've got next guest checking out. You're in control, you have the flexibility, it's free money, A tier. Next, we're talking about the little sister of late checkouts, which is early check-ins. And you might be surprised that that does not go in the A tier like late checkout, it goes in the C tier. And the problem with early check-ins is that it can put undue stress and panic and rush on your cleaners. If your check-in time is 2 or 3 or 4 and you have people checking out at 10, 11 or 12, you know how long it takes to get that place clean. And even if someone is checking out at the normal time, you cannot sell an early check-in because you haven't even seen the property yet. Your cleaner could arrive at the normal checkout time of 10 or 11 and walk in to an absolute bomb site. Now, if you've charged the next guest for an early check-in, you are under all sorts of stress and pressure trying to get this place ready. On top of that, it's actually quite hard to get guests to fork out for an early check-in. What they'll say is, if you say it's $20, £20 for an early check-in, they'll say, don't really want to pay that. Can we just leave our bags instead? And then what do you say then? You can't say, well, $5 to leave your bags? No, you either have to say yes or no. It sets the start of the guest stay off on the wrong foot. And so for that reason, it goes in at sea. Next up, we're talking about selling additional nights either side of a booking. So if you have a 1 night gap on either side of a booking that's already in-house, it costs you nothing to reach out to those guests and say, I've got an extra night before or after. If you wanted to either arrive a day early or first thing in the morning, you can. And likewise, if you want to stay, spend the whole day in the property at the end, or if you want to actually stay another night, you can. It's a discounted rate. You don't tell them this bit, but you have those 1 night stays available. You're probably not going to sell them because they're 1 nights. It could be bad guests. The cleaning and changeover costs from a 1 night booking is not going to be great. Arguably, if it's a weekend, you might want to just sell that night, but still, I would caution against it. Certainly, it's going to be much easier money to just sell it to a guest that's already in-house. Just extend the stay. You do this direct, so there's no commission payable to the booking sites, and there's literally no additional work required for you or your team apart from moving the clean to a different day. And for that reason, it goes in at B tier, and the only reason it doesn't go higher is because you can't really sell it for the full price of the night. It has to still be discounted, and so you are still losing some money that if you were to sell it by itself, but you're saving on the commission as well. So B is the spot. Okay, next we're talking about earning money from charging for additional guests who come and stay in your property. So if you have a sofa bed or a pull-out bed or some other type of bed that people can stay in over and above the real beds, then you should be charging additional fees for those guests to come and stay. So a 2-bedroom apartment with 2 double beds or 2 king beds, you sleep 4. But if you have a sofa bed, you sleep 6. Your base rate for this property should be for 4 people. But if 5 or 6 people want to come, it's an additional cost. Additional cost to them because it's an additional cost to you in terms of your linen and cleaning time. I see so many properties when I'm doing my listing reviews or when I'm speaking to coaching clients, and they just have one set fee for the entire place. So if they sleep 10 people, whether 10 people come or 1 person comes, it's the same price per night. That nightly rate should change. Sofa beds, fold-up beds, blow-up beds, hammocks, whatever, you need to charge extra for those. Now, you can't charge the full rate because it's not a proper bed they're sleeping in, but if you don't charge for that, you're completely underselling your property. And because you don't actually have to do anything except set it up online, this revenue goes in A tier. It is so straightforward and simple to do. If you're not doing it, turn it on now. You're going to make tons more money immediately. Next, we're talking about cleaning fees. Now, this is actually a great way to get additional revenue because if your cleaner charges you $20, 20 quid an hour, a total clean might cost you 50 or 60, you can just charge your guests 100, 150. Like, what a great way to earn additional revenue from those guests on Airbnb. It's free. Do not do that. That is a joke. I hope you saw the sarcasm coming there. You saw that was going to get knocked back. Do not do that. I do know that some of you already do that. You get the cheapest cleaner you can find, and then you come up with a big round number how much a cleaning fee on your property is going to be, and you think, yeah, I'm entitled to that. I mean, the pros for this charging cleaning fees is that for some reason on Airbnb, it is strangely the norm to charge these. So a lot of guests aren't surprised to see them, so you can get away with it. But the cons are no one fucking likes them. And also, people begrudge and hate paying them. It also means that if you've charged someone 150, 200, 250 quid to clean your place, don't even think about asking them to do a fucking thing themselves to clean the place, because they're just gonna say, no, get whoever you're paying, whoever I'm paying all this cleaning fee to do all that. And so that I'm not putting it F tier, I'm putting it in an A because I know some people are just so attached to that. Leave me a comment if you think cleaning fees are an actual way to earn additional income on Airbnb. Now, strange one, elephant in the room. We obviously haven't talked about the main booking revenue, so believe it or not, I am going to talk about that now. That's going in at A tier, but this is going to change. So in A tier, look, it is what it is. I'm expecting that you're going to have, no matter what the property is, done it up nice, like make it welcoming, kit it out with everything that a guest is going to need. So it's going to be A tier. Because if it's not, if it's shit, if it's a nasty property, if it's in a poor location, if it's got bad reviews, that's going to go down. Your booking revenue is going to go down and down and down. But when you've optimized your property, you've got it looking absolutely mwah, it's going to be A tier. However, we can get it even better. And ladies and gentlemen, we have our first entry into the S tier, and that's that sweet, sweet Price Labs money. Hooking up Price Labs into your property is going to turbocharge the income and the money and the profit and the fun and the freedom and the flex, all of that stuff that you're going to have with this business. Is literally like, if you're just cycling along, you're getting your normal income, you're in a tier, you're like, yeah, I'm doing pretty well here. Like, Price Labs is like a fucking SpaceX rocket just shooting up there. The pros are, it adjusts your rates so often, it knows the entire market, like it's Skynet, it's AI, it sets your prices to the best possible prices possible. You're gonna earn more than you've ever earned previously. You're gonna charge the highest nightly rates, higher than you ever thought possible. You're gonna get empty gaps filled at better prices than slashing them. And what's the cons? You have to pay for it. Like, it's S tier. There's a link below, just do it. It also works the other way, because if you have a poor listing, well, that main booking revenue, that's no longer A tier, because the people who land, well, they won't even land on it. They'll search for dates, they'll see your shitty photo, oh, what is that? Roll on by. Or if they land on your boring, dull, bland listing, they think, oh, what? And no. Close it. Then your main booking revenue, no matter how good the property is, falls down and down and down. And one of the ways you can improve your listing is to use my AI listing bot, which trawls through your reviews, rewrites your listing based on what guests actually care about. That's going to be a big thing. Add to that, get some fucking decent photos. That's going to bump you back up, get you to where the A tier is, where you should be for your property. Direct bookings. Now, direct bookings are when you take a booking for someone that's going to stay in your property, but you've cut out Airbnb, Booking, Expedia. You don't pay anyone anything. It's just you and the guest. The pros of this are obvious. You don't have to pay 15% to Airbnb or Booking. You don't have their little minions looking over, watching every little message that you send, telling you, oh, you're not allowed to do that. You have to do it this way. You have control. You can charge what you want. It's your booking. The negatives about direct bookings are this can be a rabbit hole that you can tumble down and go and just keep falling and falling and falling. You could run an entire business just trying to get direct bookings for your property, and what? All to save the 15%. So with a caveat, direct bookings are A tier, but the caveat is that they have to come in easily. Like if you're spending hours and hours and hours trying to get these direct bookings, then you've wasted the return that you've got from saving the money, the commission from booking.com. Next up, we're talking about doing some shopping for the guests, so that when the guests arrive, you've gone to the shop or the supermarket or the grocery store and filled your fridge and cupboards with stuff that the guests requested. And unfortunately, this is our first entry into F tier. And the pros for this are, I don't know, that you can charge someone 20 quid for going and doing a full shop for them. And like, it does sort of have to be a nominal fee, because you can't charge a commission of the stuff, because if someone just asks you for a packet of biscuits or a bottle of wine, you have to go spend an hour, half an hour, 45 minutes to go to the shop just to get a 10% commission of something that costs a fiver. Like, is that really worth 50p worth your time? The cons are, and like I should say that I've done this maybe once or twice and then decided I'm never doing that again. So the cons are, you get a list and it could be an enormous list. Like, I mean enormous, full shop, and you're pushing your trolley around the supermarket for ages thinking, how have I become this? I was running my own business and I'm doing someone else's shopping. Someone asks you for baked beans. Now, do you get Branson baked beans, or do you get the supermarket own brand baked beans that cost 5p? Now, you might think, well, I'll get the cheapest ones. Maybe that's what you do at home. You always get the cheapest ones. But then the guest is going to be like, why the fuck did you get me the shittiest, cheapest beans? Or you might think, well, I'll get the best ones, because, you know, it's a high-end place, high-end service I'm delivering. Best beans, £2 a can. The guest's like, fucking £2 for a tin of beans? What the? Like, all of this is subjective. Like, what happens if they don't have some stuff? Do you substitute it for something else? What happens if you get something like fresh fruit or something and it's a bit bruised, that the date's not good enough? The guest leaves a message complaining. Like, there is enough shit to go wrong in this business without being a personal grocery shopper for your guests. All for 10%. Even if the shop came to 100 quid and you spent an hour traveling around, half an hour getting to your property and packing it all away, an hour and a half for a tenner. It's just not worth it. F tier all day long. Next, we're talking about selling tickets to attractions or events around your property or tours that guests might want to go on. Now, the way you make money from this is through affiliates. So it's either an affiliate link where you send the link to the guest and they make the booking and it's all tracked at your link that they booked with, or you can actually sell the ticket yourself and say, here's your ticket, I'll take the money, and then the place or the tour or the attraction then bills you for the people who have came minus your margin. Now, for the benefit of this, I'm going to say we're in the 21st century. We're using affiliate links. These are online booking systems. We can send the link in our messages to those guests and they just make the bookings themselves. And for that reason, earning money this way is S tier. Literally, there is nothing for you to do once it's set up. The guests are going to just see it. They're going to do the stuff anyway. They may as well book it through your link. If you can negotiate with the tour, with the attraction that says, say the tour is 30 quid. If you can say, do I have a margin, 10% here? Okay, well, I'll offer 5% margin to the guest, a 5% discount, and you keep the other 5%. Well, it's a no-brainer for the guest to use your link. It's the definition of passive income. It is free money on autopilot. The guests are going to go to the places anyway. You're offering them a slight discount. They want the discount. They're going to book it. You get free money. S tier. Next, we're talking about rewards cards. Rewards cards are business cards that you can use to pay for your expenses that you accrue through running the business. This can be from things like buying toilet roll, welcome pack items, electricity, gas, any of your utilities, your broadband. You can even set it up to pay your Booking.com commissions with these cards. There are ones like Capital on Tap or American Express, which you can get the link below. The negatives here are, well, you've got to pay for them. Most of them have like a monthly or a yearly subscription, and then you've got to set up like it's a charge card, so you've got to pay with that first, and then you do have to like pay it back. But the pros are the rewards you get. I mean, often you can get money back, either a percentage off your bill or like gift cards. You can earn rewards like points, travel points. It's mad. You're gonna be spending the money anyway on the expenses. You may as well be rewarded for them. For that reason, it goes straight in at S tier. Next, we're talking about packages that you can offer your guests. And this is a bit of a grey one. So it's packages / could you do something special for us? If you're already running your business, you'll have been asked this already multiple times. It's my birthday. Could you do something special for us? It's our anniversary. Could you do something special for us? Now that one is an F for fuck off tier, because that's shit. Because the last thing you want is on someone's special anniversary for you to do your best, putting all the decorations up, and for them to absolutely hate it, and then it's all put on you that you've ruined the anniversary or the birthday or whatever it is. Do not get involved in that, because especially they're not going to pay for it. But what you can offer are packages. So you can say, well, we have a birthday package, and in that package we provide a bottle of Prosecco, some chocolates, everything that is non-perishable, so no flowers, things that you can store in your cupboard, in your storeroom, and when the special occasion comes around, you can say, yeah, I can leave you some Prosecco, some glasses, some chocolates, and whatever else, and it costs X amount. Would you like that package? Now, if you do it that way, that goes in a D tier, because there's still some work involved. You still run the risk of someone saying, oh, the Prosecco I paid 20 quid for was absolutely disgusting. It's much easier to just say, look, I'm sorry, we can't do that. Do you really need 20 quid to run the risk of getting, oh, I proposed and the wine glass that I gave my wife was disgracefully dirty? It's not worth it. Pets. Now, there's no doubt that if you allow pets in your property, you can charge significantly higher rates. Why? Because the demand for this is much greater than the supply. So many places I speak to do not offer to accept pets. I'm one of them. We don't want pets anywhere near us. But for those places that do accommodate pets, you can charge 20%, 30%, 40% higher nightly rates. And you know what? The guests are willing to pay it, because they've heard no from everywhere else. But it goes in at C. Why, you may ask? Well, because if you say you accept dogs, we're all going to be expecting the little dog that comes in its own little pram or in a handbag or something like that. Not Beethoven or flipping Hooch. But you know what? You can't discriminate. You can't be like dog racist. No, no, no. Only the small dogs, not the big ones. And yeah, the reason you take higher nightly rates for these stays is because there is more cleaning required. The dog smell, the hairs, the potential damage that these animals can do in your property. It's in its C tier because I just don't know if it's worth the hassle. One, there's the nerves of what am I walking into after the guest with a pet has left. Has their dog chewed the leg off the table? Has their cat scraped all the wallpaper off the walls? Secondly, the awkward conversation to say to the guest, what kind of dog is it? Oh, it's a crocodile service animal. Oh, it's my pet eagle. It's an indoor chicken. To have to say no to these things and deal with the backfire and the anger from those guests. To be, you said you accept pets. How dare you? Like, in my opinion, it's just not worth it. Now, next we're talking about, I can't even believe I'm saying this, but this does exist, charging for things that are in the property. I'm talking about the washing machine that if you want to use, you got to put a coin in, or if you want to use the Wi-Fi, you need to pay for it. You can already see where I'm going here with this. There is no pro for charging someone £1 to use the washing machine or a £5 a day to use the Wi-Fi. There's none whatsoever because they're not going to use the washing machine. Even if they do, well done. You've made £2 out of the stay. But also what you've done is pissed off those guests so much that they're going to leave you a negative review, which is going to have much bigger impact on your ability to earn from that main booking revenue than whether you got £1 for a wash. And don't even get me started on the Wi-Fi. When guests book a property, they deserve full access to everything within that property. Yes, there is fair usage. I'm talking about plugging your electric car in here to charge it. Argument over whether that's fair, but it's certainly fair that they can use all the washing facilities, cooking facilities, Wi-Fi, all the beds. If you're a host who is trying to be so tight that you charge for every little thing, it is going to result in the worst negative reviews. Don't be a Scrooge. That goes in straight at F tier. I hope that goes without saying. That would be a big mistake. And actually on that, the next video you need to watch is this one. It's 23 mistakes. Look, I've made them. These are literally mistakes that I've made. I don't want you to make them because they kind of end up in a bad problem. Watch this video next. Don't make these mistakes.